Hey everyone, welcome back to Speak English Flow. I'm Emma.
And I'm Mohin.
Day 8 of our 30-day English practice challenge, and today we're heading to the gym.
Don't worry, you don't need big muscles. You just need some useful English.
Have you ever wanted to ask for help at a gym but didn't know the right words?
That was me on my first day. I kept saying, "Where is the exercise machine?" instead of just asking, "How do I use this machine?"
So the gym is an interesting one. It's actually full of small, specific vocabulary that doesn't come up much anywhere else.
True. Equipment names, class schedules, membership questions, all pretty specific to this one place.
And there's also a social layer, asking to work in on a machine, asking for a spot, that kind of thing.
Why does that social part feel more intimidating than, say, small talk in a taxi?
Because it usually involves interrupting someone who's mid-workout, which feels awkward in any language, honestly.
Okay, that's fair. That would make anyone hesitate.
Let's fix that hesitation today. The front desk. Whether you're a member already or trying it out for the first time, this is where every gym visit starts.
This is actually where I get nervous. Signing in, showing an ID or membership card, sometimes explaining why I'm there.
Totally manageable. Let's just walk through it. I'll be the front desk staff. You're checking in.
Okay, here we go.
Hi there. Welcome in. Are you a member or is this your first visit?
I'm a member, actually. Here's my card.
Perfect. You're all set. Do you know where the locker rooms are or would you like a quick tour?
A quick tour would be great, actually. Thank you.
No problem at all. Right this way.
Thanks so much.
That felt easy, right?
Genuinely simple. No complicated vocabulary needed at all.
Before we head to the gym floor, let's pull one line out of that because it's a great habit to build.
Which one?
Would you like a quick tour? Or asking for one yourself. Could I get a quick tour? Never be afraid to ask, especially somewhere new.
Honestly, asking for a tour would have saved me some confusion in new gyms before.
It really does. Most staff genuinely enjoy showing people around. All right, you want to use a machine, but someone else is already on it. This is that awkward social moment we mentioned earlier.
Oh, this is exactly the moment that makes me just wait quietly instead of saying anything.
What usually happens?
I stand nearby, looking hopeful, and hope they notice.
Okay, let's give you actual words for that instead of hopeful staring.
Excuse me, would you mind if I worked in between your sets?
Oh, sure, not a problem at all. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No worries. I've got 2 more sets after this if that helps you plan.
That's really helpful. Thank you for letting me know.
You just handled a genuinely common gym moment with total confidence.
Work in felt like such a specific phrase, but it made the whole interaction so much smoother.
Can I tell you something that used to genuinely stop me from going to gyms while traveling? I used to avoid asking to work in completely. I'd just wait, sometimes for way too long, or give up and do a different exercise entirely.
That's basically my current strategy.
Right? But one day I finally asked, using almost that exact phrase, and the person said, of course, immediately, without hesitation. It genuinely wasn't a big deal at all.
So once again, way bigger in my head than in reality.
Every single time. I think this challenge is slowly proving that pattern to both of us, honestly. Speaking of gym etiquette, can I share a quick American gym culture note here?
Please, go for it.
Wiping down equipment after you use it is a pretty strong, unspoken expectation here. Most gyms even have spray bottles and paper towels set up right next to the machines.
Oh, I always wondered what those bottles were specifically for.
Exactly that. And also, headphones are common, so people often aren't chatting much, which is completely normal, not rude.
That's actually reassuring. I always assumed silence meant I was doing something wrong.
Not at all. Silence is just the default gym mood here.
Honestly, that wipe-down tip alone would have saved me a slightly judgmental look or two in the past.
Learning English isn't just about vocabulary. It's about understanding how people really communicate. If these lessons are making your English journey a little easier, subscribe to Speak English Flow, and let's keep improving together every day.
Okay, Emma. I guess it's time to tell everyone about the day I accidentally joined the wrong class.
I have genuinely been waiting the whole episode.
So I once asked the front desk about a class schedule, misheard the room number, and confidently walked into a completely different class already in progress.
What kind of class was it?
Some kind of advanced dance cardio class? I was wearing regular gym clothes, completely lost, surrounded by people who clearly knew exactly what they were doing.
Did you stay?
I stayed for about 5 minutes out of sheer social awkwardness, then quietly slipped out the back.
That is exactly why double-checking a room number matters. One quick, "Could you repeat that room number?" would have saved that entire experience.
A very sweaty, very confusing lesson in listening carefully.
Then let's practice the conversation you should have had. How to ask about a class before you accidentally join it.
Yes, please. Future me will be very grateful.
Hi, could you tell me what time the beginner yoga class starts today?
Sure, that one starts at 6 in Studio 2, just down the hallway.
Perfect. And sorry, could you repeat the studio number just to make sure I have it right?
Of course, Studio 2, right past the water fountain.
Great. Thank you so much for double-checking that with me.
That's the calm, confirmed version of your dance class disaster.
Genuinely, just asking to repeat something feels so much more natural now than it used to.
All right, let's kick off our vocabulary spotlight. Mohan, you're up first.
Sounds good. What's our first word?
Membership, the arrangement or card that gives you regular access to the gym.
I'm a member. Here's my card from our very first roleplay.
Exactly right. Next, work in, asking to use equipment between someone else's sets or turns.
Would you mind if I worked in? My new favorite gym phrase.
Perfectly used. Next, set, a group of repeated exercises done together, like 2 more sets.
Which told me exactly how long I'd be waiting.
Very useful detail. Next, etiquette, the unspoken polite rules of a place, like wiping down equipment.
A word I now understand much better than I did this morning.
Exactly. Next, studio, a specific room used for classes, like Studio 2.
The exact word that could have saved me from an accidental dance class.
Never forgetting that lesson now. And last, double check, confirming something again just to be sure.
Something I clearly should have done a lot more, historically speaking.
A perfect note to end the word tour on. So if there's one thing to take from today, it's this. Social moments like asking to work in or double-checking a room number feel much bigger in your head than they actually are in real life.
And even when a mix-up happens, like ending up in the wrong class entirely, it's honestly just a funny story waiting to happen, not a real failure.
Today's whole episode really proved that a little confidence and a couple of clarifying questions go a very long way. Thank you so much for joining us today. We truly appreciate you spending part of your day learning with us.
Before you go, here's a quick challenge. The next time you don't understand something, confidently say, "Could you repeat that, please?" Real-life practice is the fastest way to build confidence.
We'd love to hear from you. Tell us where you're watching from and what topic you'd like us to cover on day 9. Leave a comment below. We read every one of them.
Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and remember, every conversation makes you a little more confident.
Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in day 9. Bye, everyone.